Right, we're off, guys. How are we? So, Chris Lake featuring Laura V. Changes in my life. Vocals actually written and produced by Abigail Bailey, who I mentioned the other day. So, yes. So, again, important reason for the song, okay? And something I want that I've certainly realised. Just find my notes, not very well prepared this morning. Haven't even made myself a coffee. So, we're not all perfect, are we? We don't always get it right. So, we are going to discuss changes in my life is what we're going to discuss, but I've completely lost all my notes of what I'm going to talk about, which is a good job that I can talk off of the cuff. Okay, so changes are massive, aren't we? And I think changes are why so many people are so over the edge at the moment with their thoughts and with this uncertainty that's been created, okay? Let me just move that because it's doing my head in. There's so much uncertainty in the world and we keep seeing it posted everywhere. Now, there is only one, morning Diane, morning Stacey, morning Kelly, there is only one way to deal with uncertainty, okay? Morning Dom, morning Zoe. And that is to realise that the only thing that is ever going to be certain is uncertainty, okay? And the sooner you start to realise that and understand it, the more comfortable you're going to you will start to become with difficult situations of uncertainty. Like COVID, like coronavirus, like difficulties in your business, like difficulties in your relationship, like breakups, like career changes, like, you know, there will always be uncertainty. And the only way that you will struggle to deal with it is if you try to get yourself into what I call a safety mindset, where you think that life is this journey of, you know, you adapt this "I'll be happy when" fallacy. And it is a fallacy. And there's a reason why I use the word fallacy, okay? Because we all say, I'll be happy when I'm 9 stone. I'll be happy when I find a partner. I'll be happy when I move house. I'll be happy when I get a Range Rover. I'll be happy when I make X amount. I'll be happy when I can squat 200 pounds, okay? I'll be happy when I can finally have children. Whichever part of that, I'll be happy when I can stop drinking. I'll be happy when I can stop sniffing coke. You know, any of those types of things where we believe that it's the vehicle that's taking us from where we are to the thing we want to be, and when we get there, we will be happy, okay? This is massive in fat loss, okay? Morning Gary, morning Robert, morning Diane. Now, I'll be happy when is a fallacy, okay? Doesn't happen, okay? Because as soon as you get to the place where you think you will be happy when, you either need to maintain the thing that you did to get there forever, or you will go back to where you were, or you need to set new goals, or you will become lazy and you will procrastinate and you will end up back where you were, okay? That massively happened to me this year. I was with an incredible business coach, morning Carmen. If you are a PT or an online coach, check him out, it's called Phil Graham. Up until the end of July, I think, and he skyrocketed my business in 12 years with him. I was in his elite program called Boardroom. And I then decided that I'd taken everything that I needed from Boardroom, and I was very, very happy, and I was going to go it alone for a bit to save money. There's then a period from July until kind of end of September. So only really 3 months, when I didn't have a coach, decided I could do it all on my own, and everything in business dropped, okay? Everything went downhill. Everything in life went downhill. My relationship went downhill. Home life went downhill. Everything went downhill, okay? Because I stopped being accountable, and I thought I'd got to where I was, and I could carry on doing it, and then I didn't have to do any work anymore, and I got lazy, and I got too confident, and I got too cocky. Okay, I then started working with Russell Brunson. I'm now working with Paul Mort, and having a coach and a mentor back in my life has skyrocketed through, because I thought I'd got to the place where I was cool and that I could maintain that. And the big thing that I've realised, and that I want you guys to know, is that this safety mentality, okay, this is another great thing that that a business coach said to me once. We're having a conversation. He was actually a client. I was training him, and I said, Gary, do you know what? I just need to really, really save, and I just want to get the business to the level where I've got £100,000 in the bank account. It's saved away, it's safe, it's rainy day money. It's going to make me feel really safe. I kept using that word. I'm just going to feel really safe. I'm going to feel really secure. And yeah, that's what I want. And he literally turned around and he was like, why the fuck would you want to do that? I said, what do you mean? And he says, well, what are you going to do with 100 grand that's in the bank? What's the point in having 100 grand in the bank? I says, well, it'll make me feel safe. And he says, well, how will it make you feel safe? And I says, well, if anything bad happens, then I know I've got that money to fall back on. He says, why are you focusing on something bad going to happen? Shouldn't you be focusing on making more good things happening, and how you could reinvest that, and how you could help more people? And it was like an epiphany moment. And again, he said, do you know what having that money in the bank's going to do for you? And I said, yeah, make me feel safe. He says, no, it's not going to make you feel safe. It's going to make you fucking lazy. Because you've got no reason to get up out of bed every day. You've got no drive. You've got no purpose. You are literally just going to sit back and go, it doesn't really matter if I go to work today or not. It doesn't really matter if I have an impact. It doesn't really matter if I help people. So I've got this money in the bank and it's making me feel safe. Until it dwindles down and the shit hits the fan and you're back at square one. So that... Sorry guys, I'm really struggling with a cold. That mentality is the same as the uncertainty. So we want things to be certain, we want things to be safe. We get into a relationship, we think it'll be forever. We get into a job, we think it'll be forever. We get into a fitness or a mindset goal, and as soon as we get to where we want to be, we'll think it will be forever. And that's what we need to understand, that there is no forever, okay? It's a constant journey. We have to progress. And we have to understand that sorry, this light's so bright as well. We have to understand that it's about enjoying the process, enjoying what we are doing to get to where we want to be, because if we don't enjoy it, we won't be able to continue it. If we can't continue it, no sooner have we got it, we will lose it, okay? And it's also important to remember that as soon as you get to goals, you need to set new goals, or you will go backwards. That's what I did for 3 months this year, and that's what I've learned. But you know, do write this down. I've actually written this down here on my notes, okay, because it's massive for me. In fact, I'm going to circle it with my Apple pen, and you can see, so that I'm not telling porcupines, that I note and I journal everything. The only way to cope, and now my notes have gone back to page 1. Now, the only way to cope with uncertainty is to realise that the only thing that is certain is uncertainty, okay? There will always be obstacles, deaths, bereavements, relationship changes, career changes, COVID. There will always be these things, okay? And the sooner you start to realise that you're not unlucky, it's not poor old you, it's not, oh my God, me again, or this always happens to me, okay? It happens to everyone. From the highest elite achievers to the people that are struggling the most in the world, okay? There is always uncertainty. There will always be highs and lows. And the sooner you start to understand that, the sooner you will start to feel more content and less worried, okay? And you will be able to deal with uncertainty once you realise that the only thing that is certain in your future is uncertainty, okay? Because every day will be uncertain. Now, That's again why I played that record, because there will always be changes. Certainly in management levels, the management of change is one of the hardest things to do, because people get, and this is why you don't progress, okay? This is why you're overweight. This is why you're unfit. This is why you're not achieving your goals. This is why you're in a career and you don't like it, and you're trying to do something or you're not doing anything to make some changes on something that's making you unhappy, because you've decided that that's it, that's your deal, that's the hand you've been dealt. You know, you have to like it or lump it. It's completely concreted, you can't change, and you can, as simple as that. It's just because you're addicted to the safety and you're addicted to being in your comfort zone because it makes you feel safe, okay? That is not a great place to be. Now, with the constant change, that brings about the constant desire for improvement as well. But that constantly comes from setting new goals. That constantly comes from having a purpose. That comes from being accountable. That comes from, you know, the first video that my clients do is their vision and their why, okay? So we're finding out exactly what they want to achieve, and then we're attaching emotions to it, okay? It's not good enough just to want to be rich or want to be ripped or want to write a book or whatever your goals are, okay? We have to attach emotion to it, otherwise it will be weak. And weak goals, weak emotions, those are the people that always fail the first. Now, that brings me briefly on to failure, okay? If we're going to do failure, and then we're going to recap overwhelm. Now, failure, for me, is one of the most misunderstood topics that you hear talked about in mindset and personal development, okay? So the reason why I say this is because nobody prepares to fail, okay? And there's lots of memes, aren't there, about there are no failures, there's just lessons and all those types of things, but they're great, but, you know, memes are generally written by bullshit people who don't understand you and I, or where we're at, or where we're feeling. But what happened with me, so for example, when I broke my neck playing rugby, I wasn't prepared for it. If anyone thinking about taking rugby, okay, listen to this. When I compound fractured my scaphoid and had it blended with plateau and pinned, I wasn't prepared for it. When I had 10 metal pins in my elbow, I wasn't prepared for it. When I broke my ankle on my growth blade, I wasn't prepared for it. When I knocked 3 of my teeth out, I wasn't prepared for it, okay? When I cut my face open there, boxing, broke my jawbone, I wasn't prepared for it. But now, through the learning of all of those, I'm prepared for it, because my default back then was get injured, toys out of the pram, feel sorry for myself, pity, take alcohol, drink drugs, self-destruct, okay? Until it got to a point where I was borderline suicidal again, okay? And I had to really sort my shit out, because if not, I was going to die or end up in jail or end up on my own, homeless. Simple as that, okay? Because I wasn't prepared to fail. Now, again, having listened to all that, you may think that I'm very crazy, but on the 9th of January, I will be returning to play rugby for Sheffield. Which I'm actually going to talk about in my daily email today. I'll do a daily email, guys. So if any of you want that daily email, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in this comments afterwards. That link will take you through to not only download a free copy of my book, but once that goes through, your email will be in our database, so you will then get the daily emails. And today I'm going to talk about why Nat absolutely kicked my ass in the gym yesterday. We did some CrossFit training. She destroyed me. We'll talk about why that was good, and I'm also going to talk about rugby, okay, and why it's coming up. So I am completely prepared to step on that pitch on the 9th of January and break my neck again, or break my ankle again, or break my wrist again. Okay, I'm mentally prepared for it. Now, many of you won't know this because I haven't even spoke about it on my Facebook, but I've actually been injured for 3 weeks. I've only started training properly again about the last 7 weeks. I don't know what I did. It was some form of back spasm on my sacroiliac joint, and I've had to have physio, and I haven't really lifted weights now for 3 to 4 weeks, okay? But again, I didn't get pissed as a result. You know, I didn't start sniffing. I didn't start throwing my toys out the pram. I didn't start with destructive behaviour. I didn't start moaning into my Facebook. I didn't start trying to get everyone to feel sorry for me because I was injured again, because I was prepared for it. Okay, and I'm always prepared now to get injured. What I do is high risk, it's high energy, just like I'm prepared for people to slag me off on Facebook and doubt my views. If it wasn't breaking laws and I wasn't a twat, I would copy and post them. But if you saw the amount of abusive DMs that I got just this week about my post about the army guys on December the 14th, 1914, when it was Christmas, you'd be overwhelmed. But again, I don't rise to those emails because I'm prepared for them. I'm prepared to fail. I'm prepared to be criticised. I know that I can't put myself out there on this level to help you guys and express my views, which are the views that, you know, many coaches have expressed to me, which has helped me become the person I am, which, without sounding a bit modest, I'm very successful and I'm very happy. Okay, I can't put those views out there without expecting people to disagree with them and pull them down. And if I did, and I was comfortable and I was safe and I didn't want to do it, I would never put them out there. That would mean that I would never help anyone, and I would never get to achieve my own goals. Okay, again, another great phrase: help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you want. Okay, that's the way I run my business. I try to help as many people as I physically can. Okay, but the downside of that is I have to put myself out there like this or you wouldn't be listening to me. The downside of putting yourself out there is you're going to get dickheads who criticise you and pull you down, okay? One of them was a woman, and she opened her email with, "Hi, therapist here." Like that was some kind of like, gave her permission to then like basically pull me down because she's a therapist and that makes it okay. And she basically said that, you know, my post was wrong, people like me were bad, that I was actually, I can't remember the exact words she used, that I was actually basically encouraging people to become more depressed because I was making them feel guilty about feeling guilty without relating it to the current situation. So don't forget, guys, remember therapists, if there's no depressed people, then they ain't got no one to fucking therapy to. So they ain't got a job. Okay? That's why many of them the way they are. Okay? And it made me laugh because she was basically trying to gather support. No, you know, you're making people, what I'm doing is having that much of an impact. Not that I get messages every day telling people that I've saved their lives, which I do, but she was trying to come across and tell me that I was making people feel guilty about the way they feel about COVID by relating it back to the fact that some poor guy was in a trench on December the 25th, 1914, risking his life about a war and a situation that he didn't even know, okay? So I was making them feel guilty about their thoughts. It was never my intention, okay? She was looking for an argument. She was looking for a fight. In fact, it's on my Instagram. No, it is. It's on my Instagram. Go and read it. It's the post. She's put it in the comments. No one's liked it. No one's replied. No one's given her any attention because she's a dick, okay? But what I'm saying is, getting back to the point, the old me wouldn't have even put that post out there because I'm scared about what people were going to say, okay? I wouldn't have done this because I'm scared that people were going to critique me. I wouldn't have put any of my modelling pictures out there because I was scared that yet again another 20 guys were going to comment something like steroids on the picture, okay? Remember, steroids is just a word that lazy guys use who aren't willing to put enough work in the gym. But, you know, these are all, having that fear of failure, having those emotional fears is what will hold you back from doing anything in your life, okay? Fear of change, fear of being pulled down, fear of criticism, fear of getting injured, fear of how you're going to react to it. By the way, guys, anyone listening, do not go on my Instagram and comment on her post or pull her down or anything like that. Please, 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 no one comment on it, okay? Just, you can read it if you want to see the ridiculousness of the post, but do not like it or follow it. This is a pitch either way, but if you do want to follow me, it's Lee_Freeman_UK on Instagram. So yeah, just be prepared to fail and be prepared to change and be prepared for uncertain times. And that's one of the biggest pieces of advice I can generally give, you know, people like you and I today, because we're not prepared for it, are we? We set goals and we want to achieve them and we go about achieving them, and we, like I said, we adapt that "I'll be happy when" fallacy, not realising that we need to make sure that we're enjoying the process and it's got good balance and it fits in with our lives and it makes us happy doing what we're doing whilst we're doing to get to where it is we want to be, because that means we can continue it forever, and once we get there we can either go to the next level or we can at least stay there being happy. But the biggest thing of all is, let's recap and finish on that, okay? Just be prepared for fail. Be prepared for change. You know, be prepared for your relationship might not last forever, okay? Be prepared for uncertain times, because the only way that you can deal with future uncertainty is by what we said, understanding that the only thing that is uncertain is that there will always be uncertainty and change in life, okay? But if we try to stay safe, if we try to stay the same, if we try to stay in the comfort zone, then you will never do anything and move forward. You know, if I was still that same person that I was, you know, 5 years ago, I would either be in one of two camps. I would not be doing these videos because I would be scared of what people would say and how that I would look, and I would get it wrong and that I would look a dick. And then, you know, that would have removed me of this privilege of actually helping people, which is all I ever tried to do every single day. I stand by my opinions and I try to help people. But you know, if I was afraid of failure or afraid of criticism or afraid of any of those things, I wouldn't have done it, okay? Or I would be the person that when people challenged my opinions, I then challenged them back with anger and got drawn into a fight. As I said, I haven't replied to her opinion because it's not important to me. I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong, okay? But me telling her that doesn't help anything at all. My energy is focused on all of you guys, all of my clients, myself, my family, and helping all of you become the best people you possibly can, because that's all we want, isn't it? So have an awesome day, guys. Like I said, I'll drop that link in if you want to join the eFly list. It'll be really cool. You'll get to hear how Nat absolutely whooped my little ass into next week in the gym yesterday. A little bit about consistency, a little bit about accountability, and why the fact that she absolutely battered me in the gym was a really good thing. So have an awesome day, guys. I love you all. Stay positive, stay focused, and just remember there will always be uncertain times ahead. So let's be prepared for them.